All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects millions of people, but is, still so often misunderstood. We're talking about bipolar disorder. And our goal here is to really break it down, get to what it is, and just as importantly, what it isn't.
Wow, what a way to put it, right? It really hits home. That feeling of being on top of the world 1 minute, absolutely unstoppable, and then bam. The next, you can barely find the energy to get out of bed. We're talking about something way beyond just having a bad day. For some people, these are massive shifts in their whole being.
So here's the plan for our explainer. We're going to start with that roller coaster feeling, then dive into the science behind it. We'll cover how to recognize the signs, talk about the different types, tackle some really harmful stigma, and then, the most important part, we'll look at the path to living well.
Okay, first stop. That emotional roller coaster. What's the real difference between the intense highs and lows of bipolar disorder and, the regular ups and downs that are just part of being human?
Okay, this is absolutely crucial to understand. We all have mood swings, right? You get some great news, you're happy for a few hours, a tough day at work brings you down. But bipolar episodes, that's a whole different ballgame. We're talking about intense states that can last for weeks or even months. And they aren't necessarily tied to what's happening in your life. They can completely take over and disrupt everything. So now, let's shift gears a bit. Because this isn't about someone's personality or character. It's about biology. We're moving from the feeling of it all to the facts and looking at bipolar disorder for what it is, a medical condition that starts in the brain. So what's the official definition? Well, bipolar disorder is a condition of the brain that causes these really unusual, dramatic shifts in a person's mood, their energy, and their ability to function. It's what creates those very distinct periods we call manic highs and depressive lows. And this is not some rare, obscure condition. The World Health Organization estimates that about 2.4% of people around the globe experience bipolar disorder. That might not sound like a huge number, but think about it. That's millions upon millions of people. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? This is the single most important mindset shift we can make. It's not a character flaw. It's not a lack of willpower. Once we see it as a medical condition, just like we see diabetes or asthma, that's when the door to real compassion and support can finally open. So, what do these episodes actually look and feel like? Let's get specific. We're going to break down the two sides of this coin, mania and depression, so you know what to actually look for. A manic episode can feel, well, incredible at first, like you're euphoric, totally invincible, running on pure energy with almost no sleep. But that same energy fuels racing thoughts, talking a mile a minute, and can lead to really impulsive decisions about money, work, or relationships, sometimes with serious consequences. And this personal story for Mani just makes it so real. I'd work for 20 hours straight and feel amazing. You can feel that creative rush, that productivity. But then he adds the most important part, until the crash came. It's an unsustainable high, and what goes up must come down. And then there's the crash, the other side of the coin, the depressive episode. And this is so much more than just feeling sad. It's a deep, persistent hopelessness that just sucks the color out of everything. It's an exhaustion so profound that even thinking clearly feels like an impossible task. And we have to acknowledge this extra layer, especially for women. There's often this immense societal pressure to keep it all together, to be the caregiver, the strong one. And that pressure can make it incredibly difficult to admit you're struggling and reach out for the help you need and deserve. Now, it's really important to get this. Bipolar disorder is not a monolith. It's not one size fits all. There are different types, and getting the right diagnosis is absolutely essential for getting the right treatment. So here are the three main types you'll hear about. With bipolar I, the defining feature is having at least one full-blown manic episode. For bipolar II, you see a pattern of depressive episodes and hypomania, which is a less severe form of mania. And then there's cyclothymia, which involves milder but more chronic ups and downs that go on for at least a couple of years. Okay, this is a big one.
We have to talk about the myths and the stigma because they cause so much damage. It is time to pull back the curtain and separate the facts from the fiction.
Let's just bust a few of these right now. Myth number 1. It's just being moody. No. The reality is that these episodes last weeks or months. Myth 2. You can't have a stable, successful life. Totally false. With the right treatment, people absolutely thrive. And the big one. Medication will turn you into a zombie? The reality? The whole point of meds is to stabilize your mood so that your true personality can actually come through.
I just love this quote from Priya. This analogy is perfect. Seeking help for bipolar disorder is like getting treatment for diabetes. It's just healthcare. It's about taking care of yourself. It has nothing to do with failure and everything to do with being responsible for your well-being. So, after all this, where do we land? We land on a message of real, tangible hope. Let's move into our final and, honestly, most empowering section, the path to stability and what it looks like to live well with bipolar disorder.
The path forward isn't just one thing. It's a whole toolkit. It's a combination approach. You've got medication, like mood stabilizers, which are foundational. Then psychotherapy, to build coping skills. You have lifestyle management. Things like sleep and stress are huge. And, of course, a strong support network. All these pieces work together. And day to day, these things are absolute game changers. A regular sleep schedule, non-negotiable. Mindfulness or meditation, regular movement, a predictable routine. These aren't just nice-to-have suggestions. For managing bipolar disorder, they are powerful, essential tools for creating stability.
And if you only remember one thing from our time together, please let it be this. Reaching out, asking for help, that is an act of incredible courage. It's an act of self-compassion. It is never, ever a weakness. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to sit with. What if that first step toward finding balance isn't about chasing some perfect cure, but about finding something within yourself first? The courage to ask for help and the compassion to receive it. Thank you for going on this journey with me today.